Okay, breaking just moments ago in Massachusetts, the judge has sent the jury home early today in the Lindsay Clancy murder trial, blaming, quote, an unforeseen circumstance and telling them not to speculate about it. The Massachusetts woman charged in the killing of her 3 young children, ages 5, 3, and 8 months old. Prosecutors say they are arguing in this courtroom that she acted intentionally and rationally. Here is some of what the jury heard today from a psychologist who is testifying on her behalf for the defense.
She had bipolar disorder with postpartum psychoses. In addition, she was unable to conform her behaviors to the rule of law, and she had no appreciation for the wrongfulness of her act. Chaplain Kavanaugh told me that Ms. Clancy told her that she heard a male voice instructing her to first kill her children and then to kill herself.
Where in the records from September to January 23rd or 2022 did she tell any of the providers she saw that she heard a voice telling her to kill herself?
It's not in the records.
Fair to say the only time she specifically said she heard a male voice was when she recounts the events on January 24th of 2023.
Yes, that's accurate.
Live at the courthouse in Plymouth, Massachusetts, Joshua Ritter, criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor, and Fox News contributor. Josh, great to have you with us this afternoon. This is a case that has gripped the attention of the country. It is just the most heartbreaking, imaginable circumstance for this destroyed family. What about the judge? What about him cutting the day short here? He says not to read into it. What do you read into it?
I think what this had more to do was the defense and whether or not they had witnesses available. We're moving at a very quick pace. Remember when this all began, the judge gave an estimate that this was going to last between 8 and 10 weeks. We're now into week 4, and I think we're closing in. I think we could be having closing arguments as early next week. So I think it may have been just a function of running out of witnesses because the defense had their strongest day of the trial, in my view, today with that doctor that you just played some excerpts of. He really came down to the entire crux of this case, comes to that one central question of whether or not she could appreciate the wrongfulness of her actions. He was asked that question, looked directly at all 12 jurors, and said that no, in his opinion, she could not appreciate the wrongfulness of her actions. I was in court when that was happening, and those jurors were looking at him intently and writing down notes. They know it's important.
Okay, let's play another part. This is the psychologist who we just saw and who you just referenced, Dr. Paul Zeisel. He saw her dozens of times. I just want to point out, this is not a medical expert that is brought in for one side or the other who doesn't really have a connection to the case. He has a pretty deep connection, spent quite a bit of time with her. Watch this back and forth this afternoon from the prosecution and the doctor. Watch.
She wasn't just having everyday thoughts that we all have. Intrusive thoughts are unrelenting. They don't stop. They're what we call ego dystonic. You don't want them. They keep interfering with your ability to get through the day.
What were these voices saying to her?
They were getting worse, and they were telling her to kill herself.
Okay, I want to play another one because that wasn't the one I was talking about. Let's play number 1 here.
In all of the times over the course of the last few years that you've met with Miss Clancy, how many times has she told you since the incident that she's heard a voice currently?
She has not heard voices since the event took place in 2023.
Okay, significant? Josh?
Yeah, that was interesting because this idea of voices, the first time we ever hear about this was after the murders take place, and it's in front of, the first time she ever speaks of it, in front of this expert that has been retained by her own attorneys. She had been in constant care and constant connection with different medical providers. She was very earnest about getting help for her insomnia, for her anxiety before the murders take place. No mention of a voice at all. The prosecutors really pounced on on that point, that the only time she mentions a voice is the time that she was instructed to kill her children, and their argument being how convenient that plays right into her defense. Again, though, it really doesn't come down to whether or not she was suffering from psychosis or hearing auditory hallucinations. It comes down to whether or not she could appreciate the wrongfulness of her actions. We'll see if if any points were scored with the jurors.
Yeah, just as an aside, she did mention to her mother and her mother-in-law, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Josh, that she was afraid she would harm her children, that she was feeling those feelings, correct?
Yes, she was having intrusive thoughts about harming herself, and we heard now from her family members she was also having those thoughts about the children. So, I mean, this was a woman who was being tortured. I mean, she was really seeking help. She wasn't finding it. She was trying different medications that were having adverse effects. Sometimes the medications were having adverse effects with each other. She was really on this collision course towards disaster. And so, the point that prosecutors are going to try to make is a difficult one, that a woman seeking that much help, that in the midst of turmoil, could she still appreciate murder was wrong? And that's really what this case was about.
Yeah, and thank you for always bringing it back to that, because that's the question that the jury is going to have to answer in just a couple of days. Josh, thank you very much. Josh Ritter in Plymouth, Mass.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.